Hello viewers, you're welcome to another exciting problem on our channel. In this lesson, we're going to be covering 8 questions on indicial or exponential problem. We're going to be solving 8 problems, all right? And I'm going to take you all through this solution one step at a time. It's going to be quite a long solving, but I bet you're going to enjoy it. So get your writing materials and let us go to work. Now, the first thing you should remember, we are going to be applying all the laws of indices in most of these problems. So just get familiar with the laws of indices and you can go about this problem. Now, of course, let's get started. Now, solution, we have 2 to the x plus this old guy, 2 to the negative x. Remember from your laws of indices, when I have a to the negative m, it's the same as 1 over a to the n. So that guy becomes 1 over 2 to the x equal to 2. All right, so that is it. Now, I want to get rid of this fraction, okay? I want to multiply everybody by 2 to the x so that this guy will go out from here. So if I multiply here by 2 to the x, I'll multiply this guy by 2 to the x, you understand? Then plus, I'll multiply all these guys here. Let me put it in bracket like this. So I'll multiply everybody here by 2 to the x, so I have 1 over 2 to the x equal to then 2 to the x times 2. And of course, this is the same thing as 2 to the 1, right? Good. Now, the whole idea of doing this is to cancel out these guys. And now 2 to the s and 2 to the s will give us what? From the laws of indices, when they have the same base and they are multiplying, you take one of the base and you add the exponents. It's going to be like x plus x, then plus 1, then equal to the same thing. They have the same base, they are multiplying, add the exponent. It's going to be like 2 into x plus 1. That's the law of indices. We already have videos on indices, so you can go and check our playlist on our channel here. Check the grade 10, you will see questions on indices. So now let's go ahead. We have here to become 2 to the 2x, x plus s is 2x, then plus 1, then equal to this guy is going to be like 2. This is the same thing as, okay, better still, sorry, I don't need to expand this old guys. I think we don't need to do that because we need it. We don't need to add up this whole power. Okay, we don't need to do that. So here it just become 2 into 2x. All right, so don't go ahead to expand this. There's a reason for that. So, but this one we can simplify this one. So we have x plus x is 2x, and here is 1. So bringing this guy inside, you have minus 2 into 2 to the x equal to 0. I hope this is clear so far. We just brought this guy inside, so it becomes negative when it comes inside. And now the whole idea of doing this is to convert this equation to quadratic equation. So from your laws of indices, if I have a to the mn, I can write these guys as a to the nm. I can interchange this position because multiplication is commutative. What I mean, mn is the same thing as nn. 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2. So it is commutative. So, and that means I can also write it as a to the n, then all to the m, right? That is making sense that way. So these guys can be written as 2 to the x all to the 2 from what I just explained earlier. And bringing this guy closer, I have minus 2 into 2 to the x, then plus 1 equal to 0. Now, this is looking like a quadratic equation, right? But if it's not clear, if it's not really looking like a quadratic equation to you, I'm going to say let p be equal to 2 to the x. So that this guy now becomes, this old guy become p. And this guy has a square, so it's going to be like p squared minus 2. And this 2 to the x here is p. So there becomes p here, then plus 1 equal to 0. Now, this is a quadratic equation. And you can solve this quadratic equation by factorization. Now, you multiply the coefficient of p here, which is 1, with this constant. 1 times 1 will give us 1. So we're looking for two numbers such that when you multiply them together, you will get a 1. That's this one. And when you add them together, you get this minus 2. When you add the same two numbers together, you get minus 2. The numbers are just 1, minus 1, and minus 1. Minus 1 times minus 1 will give me a positive 1, and minus 1 plus minus 1 will give me minus 2. So here becomes p squared minus 1p, then minus 1p. So those guys, this minus 1 and minus 1 we are representing them in the form of p, just like we have -1p, -1p, we give me -2p. So instead of writing -2p now, I'm going to write them as -1p, -1p. That's why I'm writing these guys in this form. Then we have here +1 equal to 0. The next thing you want to do is to group them. You group these guys like this. And now what is common here? What is common here is p. So when you factor out p, if p divides p squared, you'll be having p, you understand? And if p divide this -1p, you get just 1. As if to say p times p is p squared and p times -1 is -1p. Then leave a space here. Whatever you have here, just come over here and paste it. So p -1 equal to 0. Then you come back to this space. What will you multiply with this p here to get -1p? Of course, it's going to be -1 because -1 times p will give me -1p. And -1 times -1 will give me +1. The reason why I say you should leave a space and paste what you have here, right here, is because these two factors must be the same. And why? Because as they are the same now, we convert it to the one factor. So you have p -1. And this guy is hanging outside, p -1 will come inside. I mean, this guy is right here, is the next factor, all equal to 0. Now, it seems they are both twice, so we can equate each of them to 0. P -1 is equal to 0, or the other p -1 is equal to 0. So here we have p equal to 1 and p equal to 1. So definitely, p is equal to 1 twice. But remember, this is not our final answer. Remember, our question was given to us in form of x, and we make an initial substitution. So you're going to recall that p is equal to 2x. So now you know 1 is equal, so this p now is 1, so 1 is equal to 2x, right? And this one, you know, 1 is the same as 2 to the power 0, right? So 2 to the power 0 is 1, so I want to write it as 1, so 2 to the power 0 is equal to 2 to the power x. The reason why I'm using 2 is because I have 2 here. I want the base to be the same. If I had 3 here, I would have used 3 to the power 0. I want the base to be the same, because when the base are the same, we can cancel out the base and equate the exponent. So x is equal to 0. Wow. So all of this problem, we got 0 for x. Wow, that's interesting. So thank you very much. Let us go to the next question, question 2. All right, question 2. The same way we solve question 1 is how we're going to solve question 2. Remember, we are solving this in live and direct, so nobody is doing any change. So just pay attention and get this right. Now, the first thing you want to do, you can distribute with 2 right here. So you have 2 to the 2 times s is 2x, and 2 times 1 is 2. Then we have plus, sorry, I would like to bring this guy inside. So when I bring this guy inside, it becomes -33. Into 2 to the x, then plus 8 equal to 0. This is still going to lead us to a quadratic equation. Just see the way I'm going to simplify everything so that it perfectly look like a quadratic equation. All right, so just follow me all through the whole process. Now, the next thing you want to do from here, from the laws of indices, it says when you have a to the m plus n, you can write these guys as a to the m times a to the n, you know, this law, when they are multiplying with the same base, take one of the base and add their powers. So I can write these guys as 2 to the 2 to the x, then times 2 to the 2. As if to say, when they are multiplying, you take one of the powers, one of the base, and add their powers. So this should be 2, I mean. Yeah, this should be 2 to the 2 power, not x, all right? So like you're splitting this power for x. Then minus, I don't need to write all these guys, 2 to the power, okay, let me just put it down, 3, then we have 2x plus 8 equal to 0. 2 to the 2 is 4, so we have here to be 4 into 2x all to the 2. You should remember what I did here earlier. This is exactly what it looks like. Remember, I did something like this earlier just to make it look like a quadratic equation. That's all we are doing here. Then what next? Minus 33 into 2x plus 8 equals 0. Now I will say I like using p. Let p be equal to 2x. So anywhere I see 2x, I represent it as p. So here becomes 4p squared, because here is 2x, so it's p. And minus, because of this square, that's why it is squared here, minus 33p, then plus 8 is equal to 0. I hope this is clear, and I hope this is interesting to you. Now, the next thing you want to look up for, you want to multiply 4 and 8, right? You want to multiply 4 and 8. 4 times 8 will give us what? 4 times 8 will give us 32, isn't it? 32. So you're looking for two numbers. When you multiply them, you get 32, and when you add them, you get minus 3. Let us look for it. 32 times 30 times 1 will give me 32, right? And now if I decide to put a negative here and a negative here, minus 32 times minus 1 will still give me 32, and minus 32 plus minus 1 will give me minus 33. So the two numbers I'm looking for is minus 32p and minus 1p. Minus 1p is same as p, okay? And that will give me minus 33p. So this is what I'm going to use to replace minus 33p, all right? So now this guy becomes 4p squared. Instead of writing minus and 3p, I'm going to write minus 32p minus 1p, which is the same as p, then plus 8 equal to 0. Then you group them like this into 2. What is common here? Of course, 4 is common because 4 can divide 4 and 4 can divide 32. So 4 is common. And p is common. P can divide p and p can divide p squared. So 4p is a common factor. Now, when 4p divide 4p squared, we have 4p squared like this divided by 4p. This 4 cancel 4, p cancel one of these guys. So you're left with just p. And when 4 divide 32, you have 8, and p divide p is 1. So as if to say 4p times p is 4p squared, and 4p times 8 is all these guys here. Then leave a space here. Remember, I always tell you that p minus 8, paste it here, equal to 0. You come back to this guy. What will you multiply with p, this p right here, to get minus 1p? It is just minus 1, right? Okay, so now these two guys becomes the first factor, p minus 8, and these guys outside here becomes the next factor, 4p and minus 1 equal to 0. Equate these guys to 0, p minus 8 equal to 0, and 4p minus 1 equal to 0. Here, p becomes 8 when 8 comes over here, or 4p equal to 1 when 1 comes over, it becomes positive 1. Divide everybody by 4, and now p is equal to 1 over 4. We've got into values of p, right? So you now need to recall. What do? Recall that we said something earlier. These guys, remember these guys. So you recall that p is equal to 2x. And we're going to solve it two differently because, we have two values of p. When p is 8, we're going to put, when p is 8 here, so we have 8 equal to 2x. And when p is 1 over 4, we have 1 over 4 equal to 2x. 8 is the same thing as 2 to the third power. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and that will give me that. The base are the same thing. You cancel out the base. So 3 is equal to x, or x is equal to 3. First answer gotten. And 1 over 4 is the same as 1 over 4 is the same as 1 over 2 squared. 2 squared is 4, you understand? And this is the same as 2 to the negative 2, okay? From the laws of indices, right? So this guy is like 2 to the negative 2 equal to 2 to the x, and this base cancels out always. Minus 2 is equal to x, or x is equal to minus 2. Wow, this is kind of a long solving, but I hope you guys are getting this thing, right? So let's go to the third question. All right, if you really observe how I solve the third question, you should know how to do this. I mean, the second question, you should know how to do this third one. So try this one yourself. Try this yourself, okay? And put your answer in the review section, in the comment section. So let us go to question 4 and see what it has. All right, question 4 too is quite almost like what we've been solving, but let's go ahead and figure it out by ourselves. So how do we simplify question 4? How do we simplify question 4? Now, the first thing you should do here, you can go ahead and simplify these guys by distributing. Okay, so now you have what here now? You have 3 to the 2x minus 2 when you distribute, and minus 8 into this is like 3 to the x minus 2, right? Equal to 1. All right, so from here you can actually figure out what to do here. This is like saying 3 to the 2x times 3 to the minus 2, right? Then minus 8 into 3 to the x times 3 to the minus 2, right? All right, so this is pretty much how it looks like. But I'm actually thinking of something. I'm actually thinking of doing something right now. But let's go ahead. I think this is still fine. Let's go ahead. It's still fine. It's still fine. Let's go ahead. So from those lots of indices, you know, when you have a to the negative m is the same as 1 over a to that m without the negative sign. So here becomes 3 to the 2x times 1 over 3 to the 2. I mean, this guys here becomes this. Then minus 8 into this is 3 to the x times 1 over 3 to the 2. I hope you all got this, equal to 1. Also, and 3 to the 2 is just 9. Of course, everybody knows that that's 9. So we can say this is 3 to the 2x times 1 over 9 minus 8 into 3 to the x times what now? Like times 1 over 9, right? Equal to 1. That's pretty much very interesting. Now, because this 8 is right here, so I can distribute 8 into everybody here. So I have 3 to the 2x times 1 over 9 minus 8 into 3x times, of course, this is 1 over 9, right? I don't know if these guys are, if you're getting this thing. I hope you're getting this thing. This is actually 8 multiplying everybody here, okay? So that is pretty much how it looks like, right? Now, the next thing to do from here is just to multiply everybody by 9 so that to get rid of this fraction. So if I multiply here by 9, multiply here by 9 also, all right, then multiply here by 9. This 9, we cancel out these guys. This 9 cancels this one. So you're left with just 3 to the 2x here. Simple. And then this 9 cancel this 9 here. Then you're left with what? 8 to the 8 to the what? 3 to the x, right? Also, then equal to 9, because 1 times 9 is 9. And now you see it's looking like a quadratic equation now. So remember what we did earlier. This is the same thing as these guys, minus 8 into 3x, then minus 9 equal to 0. The same thing, just the same thing. So you say let's p be equal to 3x. You can use any variable. If you don't like my p, you can use anybody. So this is now p, and remember p squared because of the square here, minus 8p minus 9 equal to 0. So now we have multiplied these two guys. 9 here is having a coefficient of 1. So 1 multiplies minus 9, you have minus 9. So you're looking for two values such that when you multiply them together, you will get a minus 9. And when you add the same two values together, when you add them together, you will get a minus 8. That's this guy in the middle here. What are those values? Will you multiply to get this? Okay, let's get started. So for, of course, you know that 1 times 9 will give me 9, but I need a negative 9. So if I decide to put minus here, 1 times minus 9 will give me minus 9, and 1 plus minus 9 will gonna give me minus 8. So the two values is just like 1p minus 9p. All right, so that will give me minus 8p. So this is pretty much how it works. You can go and watch our videos on quadratic equation. That will help you. So now I write this guys as p squared. Instead of writing this minus 8p, I'm going to write this as plus 1p minus 9p. So I have it to be plus 1p minus 9p minus 9 equal to 0. So you group them from here as usual. What is common here is just p. And p divide p squared, you have p and you have 1. As if to say p times p squared is p, p times 1 is 1p. Then leave a space and place whatever you have there right here equal to 0. And here should be minus 9, because minus 9 times p will give me minus 9p. I hope you guys are already following what we are doing here. So now we have p plus 1, the first factor, and the second factor will be p minus 9, all equal to 0. So from here, you equate each of them to 0. So you have here p plus 1 equal to 0 and p minus 9 equal to 0. And the first one, p must be equal to minus 1 or p must be equal to 9. And remember, we said let this happen. So we have p is equal to 3x. You have to recall. But we have two values of p right now, isn't it? So we have here to be 2x minus 1 here equal to 3x when p is minus 1. And here when p is 9, 9 equal to 3x. So let's forget about this one and go to this one first. So we have here it can be written as 3 to the 2 power equal to 3 to the x, and the base cancels out. So 2 is equal to x, or x is equal to 2. First answer. And now look at this point. No matter what the value of x is, you cannot have a negative result. There is no how you can translate this guy and get a solution. So this problem has no solution. So the only value of x is x equal to 2. So whatever be the value of x here, you cannot have a negative result. If x is positive, it will be positive. If s is negative here, you still have a positive result. Like when s is negative, like minus 2, you still have 1 over 3 squared. That is 1 over 9. It will never give you a negative result. So this is no solution. So next one, question 5. I won't solve question 5 because it's almost the same thing with the one we are solving. So that is done. Question 6, the same thing with what we have been doing. Then question 7, the same thing. Just go and try them by yourself and tell me what you got. And the last question is question 8. And this is quite different from every other one we're doing. So let's do it together. Here, first thing I would like to do, I would like to multiply everybody by 4 because of this fraction. So I'll multiply here by 4. I have 2 to the x squared minus, I'll multiply all these guys by 4. 1 over 4 into 8x equal to, I'll multiply these guys 2 by 4. So this is 4 actually can be written as 2 to the power 2, then times 2 to the x squared, right? Minus this 4 cancels out, and we only have 8s surviving here, equal to 0. 4 times 0 is 0. And you should know we have the same base and we are adding the power. So you have 2 plus x squared, then minus this 8 can be written as 2 to the 3rd power, all to the x equal to 0. And of course, this is the same as 2 to the 2 plus x squared minus 2 to the 3rd power times x equal to 0. And I would like to take these guys to this side. So I have 2 to the 2 plus x squared is equal to 2 to the 3rd power, right? And now you see the base can cancel out. And you equate the exponent. 2 plus x squared is equal to 3x, right? This is quadratic equation, right? Bring this guy inside. So you have x squared plus 2 minus 3x. Oh, sorry, that's not what I want to write it. I want minus 3x plus 2 equal to 0. Now multiply out. You have 2. What will you multiply to get 2? And when you add them, you get minus 3. That is 1 times 2 will give me 2. And minus 1 give me 2. Then minus 1 minus 2 will give me minus 3. So what I'm looking for is minus 1 minus 2. And that will become, here becomes x squared minus 1x minus 2x, then plus 2 equal to 0. That is everybody for minus 3x. Well, you group them. And now we have here x into x minus 1 times x minus 1 equal to 0. What will you multiply with x to get minus 2x? That should be minus 2. And here we have x minus 1 times x and minus 2, x minus 2, all equal to 0. So we have here to be x minus 1 equal to 0, or x minus 2 equal to 0. Yes, so x is equal to 1 here, or x is equal to 2 here. So these are the solutions for the last question in this video tutorial. I hope you understood and hope this is quite clear. If it is, let me know in the comment section, and Thank you for watching one more time. God bless you and bye-bye.